Hello, and good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are, and a very warm welcome to this briefing delivered to you by GP Strategies. This session will provide you with details about the latest innovations in the SAP SuccessFactors suite and also provide you with recommendations from GP Strategies. If you have any questions related to what we talk about or any concerns, please do reach out to us. We are here to help you. The agenda and purpose for this briefing is as follows. Following a short introduction, we will walk through the key features introduced with the latest release. For each item, we try to provide context for you so you can understand the impact, and we will also provide you our take on the feature. Please remember that not all companies are using all system features, and there can be reasons why a certain feature has been set up the way it has for your company. If you need specific advice on how a feature may be used in your specific solution, please reach out to us. Before we start, and in case you did not know about GP Strategies from before, we want you to know that we're a 4,500 headcount company. We are focused on learning and development and related human resources topics. We have done so for more than 50 years. For SAP SuccessFactors, our team consists of more than 175 specialists covering all SAP SuccessFactors modules. We have SuccessFactors specialists in more than 13 countries throughout Europe, Americas, and the Middle East. Our experience covers single module implementations as well as full suite implementations covering all major regions worldwide, as well as application management, report development, and support services. When we staff our client engagements, we always look for the best combination serving the client interests, and will pull resources from different locations to establish the best team. GP Strategies has a unique history combining deep domain knowledge in the human capital management area and technical competencies. We have been working with SAP SuccessFactors for more than 15 years, and we are recognized by SAP as a partner that delivers on our promise. We have maintained SAP recognized expertise in all SuccessFactors areas, which is a proof that we continue to deliver high quality. We have also been acknowledged by SAP as certified as application management service provider for SAP SuccessFactors. Our partnership with SAP has a Gold Partner status, which is another quality stamp that you can rely on. Our SAP SuccessFactors track history is unmatched and topped with strong project management skills and a dedicated application management and support team. You are in safe hands with us. Now, let's get started with the release briefing.
SuccessFactors redesigned the way users launch and complete a blended course on our mobile, tablet, and web-based platforms to improve the user experience for learning. This includes updates to the way a learner registers for a class and launches the online content for a blended course. Please note that this update is only available if you use Course Home and also only on preview instances. In regards to certificates, SuccessFactors has now created some additional tokens that can be used within both the item certificates and the program certificates. For the item, they are in the categories of the class and also for items and also for the user. And for the programs, it's the program ID and also a tree related to the user information. So now you have better possibilities to create more customized certificates in the LMS. The update to the Create New User UI is that in the old previous release, you had a pop-up window where you had to fill in data. The new one would open up directly in the item details window as you know it, and basically fill it in here in this form. So it's the improvement of the user experience. One of the great new features is when you create a new class, normally the time zone would be updated according to the admin who's actually creating this class. The new settings and the new updates will actually check when you select the facility, and if there's a time zone in the facility, it will update to the time zone related to that facility. And you'll basically get an update feedback, a warning sign saying that the time zone has changed. So now it looks and updates according to whatever is used in the facility. When you look at a user profile in Learning and you look at the tab Assigned Items, the default filter was actually showing both other needs, requirements, and completed items. The update coming here in H2 will now only show other needs and requirements. So per default, it will not show the completed items. If you need to see them, you can use the funnel to basically select that filter option as well, or you could go to the tab that is actually showing you completed items. The license type has now been added as a field that can be used both for searching and filtering of users in the system. So you have now the possibility to search for license as active licenses or functional licenses in Learning. You can search by status in the Assignment Profiles tab for both the item and Curricula entities. The search box was previously labeled as Search by ID or Description and is now labeled as Search. The search experience has been enhanced, which has previously been limited to searching only by the ID and description. The sort option for the user entity now includes new options to enable users to further sort items by date. The following sorting options are now available. Sort completed items by completion date, sort assigned items by required date or assigned date, sort assignment profiles by date added. You now have the option to handle printed exams within assessments. So the option will now allow you to print out exams. You decide how many copies you want to print. They will have a unique number. They can be handed out, filled in by the students, handed back in, and when you have it, you can basically go in here for each individual ID and then type in the results, and in that way grade the exams that have been printed and handled by the students on paper. Proctored exams is the last part of the 2 remaining exams from the exam object that was previously available in Learning. So now the print exams and proctored exams are now part of the assessment. So now an assessment can have an instructor enter a proctor code in order for the student to begin the exam, and you can also localize the different messages. Learning now supports the notification reply to email address to be filled in. So when emails are sent from the system, not only do you have a sender email, but now you also have a reply to email that you can fill in as a default email that would go for all notifications in and out of the system. When importing AICC or SCORM format files to SuccessFactors Learning, you now have the configuration option to tell which file extension you do not want in that SCORM file. So unsupported file extension zip files is a list that SuccessFactors has now added, which would be like executable files or PHP files and stuff like that. The old admin user interface that is Flash-based will be removed here by 20th of November. And the new Fiori admin interface will be the only learning admin interface that you will have after 20th of November. The Plateau Report Designer is out in a new release, and at the same time, SuccessFactors has enhanced the security for the Report Designer. This means that the admin that's logging into this on a local base only have a password that's valid for 2 days at a time. So when setting up the connection to the Plateau Report Designer, you generate a password that you can then use in Plateau Report Designer. This is valid for 2 days. So remember that when you begin working on your reports, that you have to go in and renew or refresh your password every second day. If you're working with external learning users and working with sites, there's now an option so you can set in a default user role for people created on the sites and also a default license user type. The sensitive data safeguard is now added to prevent sensitive personal data to be sent from SuccessFactors into Learning. So if you do have different data fields marked as that in SuccessFactors Suite, this safeguard will now prevent it to be sent into Learning by the connectors. This is a mind map of all the updates coming here in H2 for Learning. So it might give a better overview of where they belong, whether it's an admin focused or user focused and stuff like that. See if it makes sense for you. Other new features and enhancements coming here in H2 are virtual learning systems. So now there will be support for Zoom. They're working on support for Teams as well, but currently they're in cooperation with Microsoft because the APIs for Teams is not as easy to work with as for the other providers. For the competency connector, there's now been an improvement of the connector, so it will allow you to add competency types on the fly and will also make the types as an optional field. There's been 3 new updates for the APIs. There'll be a new API for catalog information. The learning plan API have had enhancements. And finally, there will be some new parameters for the new user API, such as, for example, license type and stuff like that. In the recommendations, if you do use the personalized recommendations, you now have a language support for it. You also have a personalized recommendation can include collections. You can also self-assign to the programs and curricula in a personalized recommendation. And also on the safe side is that when you upload content to your iContent server or other places, there's now a built-in virus scan for all the zip files done there. And there's a limit on reporting. So if you do have a scheduled report, it can maximum run for 24 hours. And there's also a maximum size. So it's a maximum size of 5 GB. And when you do, or if you do use scheduled import and export jobs, there's a time period for how far ahead you can plan those. It's now set for a maximum of 30 days in advance. Other new features, part 2, would be IAS. So now Learning supports the IAS identity management system. So now external users can also use the cloud platform identity authentication directly. For assignment profiles, it now supports comma-separated values. So in case you wanted to say, please add those users, you could basically now have the user ID, comma, next user ID, comma, next user ID. And for programs, there's been several enhancements that would improve how you view and add them and delete them and search for programs. Before, when you have added a program to a person, you had to go through the wizard to kind of remove a program from the users. Now you can do them directly from the user profile page. Extra bonus info. When you use reasons, they have now added small tags on the right side of each entry so you can see whether it's a item, exam, if it's a user, and so forth. Sensitive data safeguard, more info. If you're in your admin center, go to Manage Audit Configuration and read Audit tabs. That's where you get to all the sensitive personal data fields. If you view details, it will show you the field by field with a little flag, and those flags actually indicate if it's a sensitive field or not. You do have the option to either manage to set them as sensitive fields or not sensitive fields by going into the Manage Business Configuration. Do you need more information regarding this? Please reach out to one of our Employee Central consultants.
That was the end of this release briefing by GP Strategies. We hope you enjoyed it and got good value from it. In case you have any questions or concerns, please do reach out to us for more guidance and clarification. Please also visit our homepage to view other release briefings. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.